What's up, guys? It's Nicholas, and as you can see, I am wearing the same clothes as the Monday mashup. That is because I did a lot of filming tonight. But what else you can see is that beside me, maybe, is the Corsair H100i V2. It is an AIO water cooler. I've been talking about getting it for a while. Me and the wife were at Best Buy today, and I was like, let's just take a look. Let's see how much they are. They were on sale today. Usually I don't like buying stuff from Best Buy, but I also don't like waiting for shipping, so here we are. I'm going to do a kind of comparison between the Hyper 212 Evo, which I'm using now, and the H100i V2 for like idle and stress test, and obviously. The 7700K obviously is known for being pretty hot. A little better Tim might have helped that. I don't know, but I'm curious to see how much of an improvement I get. First off, let's go get our baseline and see where we're sitting with the Hyper 212 Evo before I swap out the coolers, because I'm really impatient and it's killing me not to have that already in my system. Let's go. All right, guys. So I'm done with my first round of stress testing and getting my idles and all that stuff. And I want to start off by saying I'm doing this test by I'm running my air conditioner at low the entire time I'm doing this, just to kind of keep the room at a steady temperature. Obviously, different times of day, room gets hotter. So kind of my way of keeping things a little more even. And then I'm also using Prime 95 to stress the CPU. So idle temps with the Hyper 212 Evo on my 7700K were between like 32, 35. So I'm gonna go with like 33 as an average. That is, for me at least, I don't like that average, or that idle. That is a really high idle. I don't like it being that high. And that's kind of why I'm looking at the H100i and then eventually going to custom loop afterwards is I want low temps. I want it to be as cool as I can get it. So I ran Prime 95, and what I got, and yes, before you say anything, Prime 95 is not a true stress or a true load test. Nothing is going to stress the CPU like Prime 95 or any synthetic benchmark for that matter. What they're meant to do is to push whatever kind of hardware you're testing with it to the absolute limits. That means obviously running it as hot as it's ever going to be, but that also gives me a kind of, it's always going to be the same. It's always the same test. That's why benchmarks are benchmarks, because then you can do the exact same thing and you can kind of compare. I didn't want to do it in a game because it takes too long for everything to even out. Obviously different zones, stuff like that. So I just did Prime 95. When I ran Prime 95, I got up to, and I can't guarantee it wouldn't have stopped going up. At a certain part of the test, it got up to 82 degrees Celsius. 82 degrees Celsius is like, holy crap, my computer's on fire. At least for me. Holy crap, my computer's on fire, and I'm going to grab the fire extinguisher. So let it run for a little bit longer. It didn't seem to be going up. It actually started to go down a little bit. I know certain parts of the test obviously stress it out more. But now I'm going to hook up the H100i V2 and see how that performs. I will be running the air conditioner during the test, and yeah. So let's do that. Alright, so the swap out is complete, and first thing I want to say is the Corsair H100i V2 looks beautiful. Compared to how the old air cooler looked, it didn't really go with the aesthetic of the build. As you guys can see, it just really pulls everything together in my opinion. I'm kind of switching up the build to a purple and orange kind of theme, so this worked perfect with that RGB lighting. I do want to say though that at first I did have the cooler mounted, or the radiator mounted to the top of the case. I knew that the airflow up there is restricted. I want to try it. I wanted to see how restricted it was. My temperatures were still hovering right around near where they were for the Hyper 212 Evo, I was like, okay, at least idle-wise. So okay, let's try out in the front. My temperatures did come down a couple degrees more from putting it in the front of the case. It's not the most appealing position for the cooler, but it looks better than the Hyper 212 Evo, and it's cooler. So, well, cooler as in temperature what? Yeah, you get the picture. So, I'm talking about it being cooler. How much of a temperature difference did I see? Honestly, not as much as I thought I would, but definitely enough to make it worth it for me. So I told you guys that we were idling at about 34 degrees. I am idling now about 27 on average. That is a fantastic drop. That's a 7-degree drop. Obviously, this is like I don't want to say an entry-level AIO, but I could have went with 360 from Fractal. You could even go custom loop, and your temperatures obviously would drop more. But this is affordable compared to those solutions, well, besides the 360 from Fractal. And the performance is really, really good, in my opinion. I might be able to squeeze a little more of an overclock out of my chip. And honestly, while running these tests, even though I had the air conditioner running, it was a little bit warmer in here because obviously it's daylight. I was up till 4 in the morning last night, you guys, getting everything put back together. I didn't do the testing last night. I did the testing this morning. The sun was out. It was kind of coming in through the windows, probably warming up the room a little bit more than it was last night. So I'm curious to see what those temperatures are tonight when the sun goes down and I have the same conditions as I did last night. But under load, Prime 95, at the same part of the test where last time I was getting about 82, 83, still climbing a little bit, 84, and then it would go down when it got to the next part of the test, I was running at a chilly, well, not chilly, but cooler 72 degrees. That is a 10-degree difference. Now, that might not seem like much, but if I can keep it that much cooler, and I do end up wanting to put an overclock on it, and this is a burn-in test. Obviously, these temps are not indicative of gaming. This is just to see how much heat it is putting out. That also encourages me to delid a little bit more, because obviously if I delid and I'm using the AI out and then I eventually go to custom cooling or a custom loop, it will be an amazing difference. So maybe I'll pick up one of those CPU delitter tools. We'll see though. I'm really thinking it's going to happen. That'd be a good video. So my final thoughts on the H100i V2 is kind of, if you're looking at upgrading from something like a Hyper 212 Evo, it's like a $80 more difference in price, and that doesn't seem quite worth it to me for the everyday user who is just going to be using stock settings. So it's kind of a personal preference thing. If you want to get as cool as you can without going obviously to custom cooling or custom loop, this is probably the answer for you. If, on the other hand, you are like, I just need something that can keep my processor cool, unless you're using like a 7700K, then maybe try to spend a little bit more on the cooler than the Hyper 212 Evo. But it is a very, very good cooler. It's not too loud. In my opinion, it's actually no louder really than the Noctua fan I had on the Hyper 212 Evo, and I am running push-pull on that. So it really is, for me at least, it was worth it. But like I said, kind of personal preference because of that price hike. So that is the end of the video, you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed putting the video together. This was a lot of work. I was up, like I said, until 4 in the morning last night, getting everything ready, getting everything done. Crawled into bed and literally was out. So today I've been tired, but I'm sure you guys have noticed there's something behind me that normally isn't here. I told you guys I ordered a chair from Massdrop, the Erosi Verona Pro. I was not expecting it until probably about Thursday or Friday, and it arrived today. I don't know how. I literally have no idea. I didn't get any shipment notification, nothing. But it's here. So that will be next Friday's video. So if you guys want to know more about this chair and how amazing this thing is, watch next Friday's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you leave a like if you liked the video, leave a dislike if you disliked it. Twitter and Instagram down in the description, or along with my Amazon affiliate link use that if you want to support the channel so I can do more cool reviews. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.